Hello, I'm Cara Dahl Russell. This week, as we've begun our series, Courtly Love and the Cult of the Virgin, we've been featuring various cultural, social, and religious elements from previous centuries that set the stage for the development of the concept of courtly love in the years from 1000 to 1200. Monday, we discussed the structure of feudal society and how, for the first time, even some peasant women could sometimes be counted as a femme seule, a woman alone, counted in her own right, and how some women of nobility could rise to leadership for prescribed periods of time. We've also seen a disturbing, repeated theme, both in feudal society and in Persian poetry, of women being tried or punished by fire. Wednesday and Thursday, we discussed the troubadour songs being raised to an art form that extolled the warrior's journey and love, and how the court of Charlemagne codified Christian conduct as a set of rules and a code of behavior and aspiration. We've seen an interplay between the 800s and these following centuries as older folk tales and ideas became part of the general knowledge and culture being set down in literature of various nations. Tuesday, we discussed the epic Persian love poem of Vis and Ramin, which existed before the year 700 and was written down by a poet in 1050. About 100 years later, 1150, the European version of the story was written down by Beyrul, Tristan and Isolde. The shared motifs of the story are inescapable. The hero falls in love with the heroine while escorting her as bride to the king and close relative. The hero, a renowned poet and hunter. The heroine's servant as a go-between. A potential trial by fire. A romantic escape. The essential difference of the endings are an essential part of the two different cultures and the 100 years in between their writing. Vis and Ramin, despite highly transgressive lives in Islamic terms, live happily, successful in life and love, an outcome that demonstrates the earlier roots of the story, and some historians say it suggests a cultural nostalgia for pre-Islamic Iran. Tristan and Isolde may have been based on several tales, not just Vis and Ramin, but more importantly, they exist in the post-Charlemagne Catholic European world of 1150. Their divergence from both the code of knightly behavior and the code of Christian morality has no validity in their culture. Beyrul's telling could very well have been conceived as a morality tale, using familiar settings to illuminate a new cultural sensibility where the lovers cannot be rewarded. They have no possible future but death. We today know the story best through Richard Wagner's retelling from the 1800s. And here is the final and important element of our introductory week, that the Romantic era and the Victorian era revisited these concepts of courtly love and frequently looked back on these earlier tales both as inspiration and source material. Some of the stories, like Robin Hood, changed so much as to be almost unrecognizable. But this continuing evolution is the essence of legend. The writers, poets, artists, and composers of the Romantic era looked back to the extreme, self-preoccupied expressiveness of courtly love as an historical approval of their own excesses. While the rigidity of the feudal system seemed very present to them as the Europe of the 1800s continued in ripples of revolutions against dictators. This is how the doomed lovers Tristan and Isolde looked very modern and relevant to a repressed and socially stratified Victorian society. These conflicts of social personal freedoms versus cultural religious aspirations and highly divided economic classes continue to resonate with the same potency today.